Long time no see. Gergo Print 3D is back with more practical 3D printing tips. What are you printing these days? Where do you get your models? Thingiverse, Cults 3D, printables, or do you design them yourself? Or a combination of download and modification like I do? Many times the model we find will not be perfectly what we need, but with free tools like Fusion 360, we can easily adjust and make it perfect. Here's an example. Last week my little nephew was over with a very specific request. Could we print a butterfly training knife similar to the one his older brother has? I did not even know these butterfly knives were a thing nowadays, let alone the training knife aspect. Are these the new fidget toys? Anyway, we did a quick search and found this model on Thingiverse. It downloaded as a single STL file, ready to print, I assumed. Was I too optimistic? We'll see. We dropped the whole model into Cura and sent it to the SVO7 Plus, since that's my printer with the 0.4 nozzle, best suited for these types of prints. I've just received some beautiful silk filament from Sovol. I was anxious to try them. Their silk has a shine which can give your prints a metallic look, and that's exactly what we were going for. We decided on this amazing dual color PLA for that perfect oxidized copper look. He helped me with filming first, as I explained how we load the filament. Then he helped me get the first layer off the PEI sheet. Why? Seeing it in real life as the first layer printed, this model was way too small even for his hands. Okay, let's blow it up by 20%. Just for this, we don't need Fusion 360, the slicer can do that. Here we go again. We watched the first couple of layers printing, all seemed okay. Checking back 20 minutes later, we discovered these filament fragments laying around, little poops. Looking more carefully, where did those connector pieces go from the model? There's supposed to be 5 of these. Oh no, this model had them hanging in the air. Whoever created this model probably cut them in half for a better fit, but as it is, they cannot print this way. Regardless of this mishap, we let the print complete. Let's treat this as a prototype and see what else might need to be fixed in the next go. For one, we will need to handle this issue on the handles. Why did this happen? If you look carefully, their design includes a chamfer along the bottom edge, but its overhang is not steep enough. Here's a neat trick for situations like this. Switch the order in which you print the inner and outer walls. It's this setting in Cura. Usually, we print the outer walls first for better dimensional accuracy. But if you begin with the inner walls, the outer walls will have a surface to adhere to. This way, we can print more significant overhangs without needing additional support. But before reprinting the handles, let's print a set of connectors so we can assemble the prototype. For this, first we will need to extract the connectors from that single STL. Fusion 360 is my favorite tool even for this type of adjustments. The trick is to insert the STL from your computer, then in the Mesh tab, use Modify Convert to turn it into solid bodies. Switching back to the Solid tab, we will be able to work with these objects, add or remove as we please. But for now, we only needed to export one of these identical connectors in a standalone STL. All pieces are now separated under the body section. Just right-click on the one you need and export mesh. We printed 5 of these, not forgetting to scale these up to 120% also. Well, we should have magnified first and multiplied afterwards, but we were able to tear them apart. No biggie. Upon assembly, we realized 4 of these connectors would have been enough, and there were some issues with the clearance too. The blade did not fit well between the handles. A pair of rubber ring spacers made the prototype usable, but this will need to be fixed as well. Look, even the prototype turned out nicely. The orange-blue filament indeed gives a nice rustic look to it, doesn't it? And the weight feels okay. We won't need to change the current 15% infill density to adjust that. Back in Fusion 360, we can easily extend the spacers in the handles. If we select a single face triangle and press the Delete key on the keyboard, the surface will be simplified, making it easier to extrude it. For this, let me rename this parameter to Extra, because we need the same amount of extension on all pieces, and the connectors will also need to be expanded by double of this amount. We probably could have just scaled up the connector lengthwise, but I actually cut the connector in half and mirrored it using a construction plane offset by half of the length of the original connector, plus double the value of the spacer extension. Here I show you all the steps. First, chopping off the short end with a box, then mirroring the remainder using the same offset plane. While we are at it, why not personalize it too? To carve his name in the handle, we simplify that surface as well, create a sketch on it, and add text. Simple, thick fonts work best. The 3D printer doesn't have the resolution to have anything fancy there. We adjust the angle and position and extrude cut 0.5 millimeter into the outside of the handle, which is at the bottom now. Having all the parts separated, we no longer need to stick to just one filament color, right? The dual color looks amazing on the blade and will be great for the little connectors. But for the handles, we decided on Sovo's dark rainbow silk filament called Universe, and they turned out really nice. Since we printed all 4 pieces at the same time, they have a subtle but symmetric blue to green gradient with a beautiful metallic shine on the outside, and the engraved name looks cool too. Fusion 360 might look intimidating first, but making practical adjustments like this is actually not that hard with it. If you find this type of content useful or interesting, please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe as well so you won't miss anything. Your support means a lot and it helps me know what you want to see more of. We are pretty happy with the end result, and I hope this little example will encourage anyone watching to start adjusting and personalizing the models we get from various 3D printing sites. You can download and use Fusion 360 for free, officially, as long as you are using it for personal or hobby projects. I put the link in the description where you can download it. I also linked to Sovo's beautiful filaments, which are surprisingly inexpensive if you order them from their main site. They have warehouses around the world. Delivery to Europe, for example, is usually just a few days. Thank you for watching yet another of my videos all the way to the end. This has been Gergo, and now go print 3D.